Hello and welcome to the Gavel, and it's that time when we go over the week and look at some of the high points in the National Assembly. I'm Lanre Lasisi. Now, the closure of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja is still in the news. Also, the stability of the country's exchange rate and the accidental bombing of a community in Borno State, all these were considered during the week in the National Assembly. We start off with the debate on the closure of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport.
The Minister of State for Aviation is here before the Senate a second time to explain the federal government's planned closure of Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, to repair the runway. Last week, when the minister came to the Senate, he insisted that the airport runway was in a deplorable condition and only a total closure of the airport would give room for urgent repair of the runway. This time, he's telling lawmakers how much the relocation of personnel to the Kaduna airport, which is to be used temporarily while the repairs are ongoing, would cost Nigerians.
Your Excellency, these figures amount total 1,134,454,106.21 Nigerian kobo.
This is in addition to the 5.8 billion naira already earmarked for repairing the runway. However, the Nigerian Society of Engineers is presenting some alternatives to the Senate. But the contractor for the project disagrees with these alternatives.
That the runway could be reconstructed without closing the airport using segmented approach and known safety risk management procedures in line with ICAO guidelines.
If the method of spot repair is used, you start on one side of the runway, working in the night, and in the morning you allow, you open it up for traffic. It would mean that this spot repair will take 2 to 2.5 years.
The presentation by the contractor does not assuage the concerns by the lawmakers. The police is also assuring the Senate it would provide adequate security personnel on the Abuja-Kaduna Expressway to safeguard the lives of travelers going to the airport and beyond. But lawmakers are not entirely convinced that the airport should be shut down for 6 weeks, and they are also worried that the contractor may not complete the job in the proposed time.
Now, this week, ministers and some members of the executive team appeared before the House and they spoke about the country's exchange rate and other matters. Here's the report.
Members of the Joint Committee of the House of Representatives on the 2017-2019 Medium-Term Expenditure Framework and Fiscal Strategy paper, meeting with the executive team led by the Minister of Budget and National Planning. The chairman of the Joint Committee makes it clear that the document being considered must be ready as soon as possible.
We are already behind schedule because this MTEP should have been presented earlier than the time it was presented and considered earlier before this day.
After a short presentation by the minister, the lawmakers voiced their concerns regarding the various exchange rates in the country and how these rates may increase inflation. The minister then gives these assurances.
We hope to see a stability in the exchange rate in 2017, and we are working hard to achieve that.
There are two things I think we're going to be, you will see in 2017. One is much more effort on improving supply. Because if you focus only on demand, you may not achieve anything. You have to bring in more, greater supply, and we have a number of initiatives that will do that.
The Minister of Finance, on her part, adds that government must investigate and understand why people are buying up the dollar.
We have to look at what are the drivers. Why are people buying dollars? Why are people ready to buy dollars at 480 when fundamentally it shouldn't be more than 320. I believe that there's something of a speculative bubble that's going on. If someone bought dollars today at 450 and sells tomorrow at 490, you just think that's the newest game in town. But eventually it will collapse because it's not driven, that is the black market will collapse because it is not driven or supported by any fundamentals, none at all. It is just emotion.
She also seeks to address concerns raised regarding the implementation of the Treasury single account.
We are the ones that spoilt the banking sector. Why? Made it very easy for them to make cheap money. Go and collect government money, place it, lend it back to government, make a spread. Now, part of what is affecting the economy is that banks have no capacity to do real credit because they never had to. They don't have to know how to credit score you or I. You or I should be able to walk into a bank and get hire purchase or get a loan on a car. They don't know how to credit score us because they never had to. So, yes, taking away that business from them in the short term may look painful, but the long-term impact on the economy is going to be positive because we are now forcing them to go and do proper banking.
Following this meeting, the committee submitted its report to the House of Representatives the very next day. On Wednesday, both chambers of the National Assembly passed the 2017-2019 Medium-Term Expenditure Framework, MTEF, increasing the oil benchmark price of crude from $42.50 to $44.5 per barrel. The National Assembly also adopted and passed the 2017 borrowing plan of the government, but insisted that they should be on project-tied basis. The lawmakers also maintained that the exchange rate of 305 naira to a dollar should be set by the executive.
And it was a very sad moment for Nigerians when news of the accidental bombing of a community by the Nigerian Air Force broke. It's a matter the House of Representatives considered during the week.